Welcome to the Chocobo Raiders, a Final Fantasy XIV podcast.
Everybody, welcome to Chocobo Raiders. Now, things might look a little bit different if you were expecting Chocobo Knights this week, and I'm going to go into detail on what's going on with that first. First and foremost, as you can tell, I'm not Setsuo. This is Brodin, and what we are doing with Chocobo Knights is that we're actually going to rebrand it. So, we're changing it from Chocobo Knights to Chocobo Raiders, and we're shifting it from a Final Fantasy general podcast to a Final Fantasy XIV podcast. For the most part, we're going to have the same host. I'm not sure how often we're going to have Setsuo on. He's going to be doing other projects, but if he wants to jump in, he could jump in, of course. We're missing Kukajoo today, but we're just missing her. She's still going to be a part of the show as well. And for today, we have Crabby and we have Lituna. How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, I'm liking this whole stream layout with everything going on.
Yep, super excited.
That's good. And as you can see, we have our Discord chat there. Once we finish it, I'm still working on some stuff. Next week will be completely done, but we are going to be having a link above the Discord chat next week, and everything will be better. And then whoever sees the video or whatever, you guys could join in. We'll have a Discord link in the descriptions as well. Everything will be great. So we're still working on it. We're still rebranding it, but we're going to be moving forward with it. So again, welcome to episode 1 of Chocobo Raiders. So I especially am happy to have both Crabby and Lituna here, because you two together is what I kind of really wanted. And that's because you're both... Yeah, I'm trying to set you up with my wife.
Yeah, it's a little weird, that's why.
No. You guys are both still playing through the story and such, so you guys are going to be a good end of this discussion kind of deal. So, since you guys are the lower levels and so on and so forth, we're going to be talking about where you guys are at in the story and kind of discussing the game, where you guys are at, so on and so forth, especially because, we don't want to discuss spoilers and so on and so forth for you guys. So that's where we're going to be if you guys are here. But once you guys are caught up, or if you're not present, we will talk about the most recent stories in the game, everything like that as well. So we're going to kind of be moving everything to a general discussion instead of just... And I don't mean to sound insulting, but Chocobo Knights kind of got into a stagnant, area. It was constantly just alright, here's lore. What did you guys do for the week? Here's some news. And then that was it. And I was, a part of it, so I'm not just trying to insult it, but it kind of felt like that's where it ended up. So I'm definitely moving away from that. I deleted the lore section. I deleted the gameplay section because it's not important anymore. This is going to be a general discussion about 14, what's going on with 14. And we'll still talk about other Final Fantasies when it comes up. That's just when news comes up. We'll still have general news. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you to everybody who's tuning in. And if you guys do want to support us or anything like that, support us on Patreon or anything else, and it would be super helpful. I got a bunch of links everywhere. The website's up on the video. It's dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. Everything like that. And as far as the Twitter goes for Chocobo Raiders, I'm not sure. I'm going to still be working on that. For now, just send it to the Chocobo Knights one, or you can even send it to my other podcasts, because I'm in charge of the Midnight Hour as well. You can send it to Midnight Hour Pod or anything like that, and we'll be able to take care of you guys. But next week, we'll have everything a little bit more solid, and this is something I feel that is a huge area that we can definitely take part of, because it's, it's a good area and it's a fun thing to do. There's a ton of Easter eggs in Final Fantasy XIV calling back to older Final Fantasies. And I know Lituna and Kukajoo don't really play other Final Fantasies, so this is kind of be more you and me, but it's one of the... We're going to start off with the easier Easter eggs, and we'll move into the more other ones. Lituna, they're saying you're quiet, but that's because you're just quiet.
Just talk so quietly. Out now.
Anyway,
go ahead.
The first Easter egg we're going to talk about, just because... Well, first and foremost, I'm probably going to put the Easter egg section after... This makes sense. We'll just go into some general discussion here. Crabby, Lituna, you guys have both been playing through Heavensward.
Yes.
Yeah, I pretty much... I'm a little bit, maybe?
Alright, and I know one of our free company members hasn't even hit Heavensward with Eldarin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that pain.
I try to be careful with what I say because I said a huge spoiler in Discord chat, and Kukajoo was like, "You should probably delete that," and it was the end of the original game. Spoiler.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spoil, but I was like, "Holy
2.
crap!"
2.5.
Yes, yeah, that was. I wasn't expecting any of that, but it was cool.
I'm going to say that right now too. There's not many MMOs I've ever played where people are so like hardcore against spoilers, but I guess that's just because
It's
not many
surprising.
MMOs that have a story like that.
I can't recall any time playing Elder Scrolls Online. Elder Scrolls Online where I said don't spoil that for me because I don't know.
Hold on. No, we love you, Eldarin. We love you. It's okay. We're saying we're not spoiling things for you.
We are just calling you out as it's your fault that there's no spoilers in this one.
I mean, with Warcraft, maybe a little bit. Like with the most recent expansion, I cared a little bit about spoilers for the in-game cinematics, but not really. But yeah.
So we're going to do our best as just talking spoiler-free, but I do want to discuss where you guys are in Heavensward and so on and so forth. So as I stated before, at least to Lituna, I'm pretty sure I did to you too, Crabby. At the end of 2.5, things kind of go dark.
Happen.
Yeah, like at the end of 2.5, I jumped right into Heavensward, so it flowed very nicely for me. And all I could think about was, man, if you waited however many months between 2.5 and Heavensward, you must have like forgot what the hell happened. Like it seemed kind of weird.
Oh, trust me, we did not forget what happened after
like
2.5.
The story is so close. Like the story flows so well, and it's going. It keeps going. And even from waiting from 2.5 to Heavensward, it still keeps going, but you can't play it. Because the expansion wasn't out then. So that's all I could think about was, man, how did people wait for this to happen?
I have a chronic getting about to pretty much everything popular, and this time it definitely paid off to have that kind of flow.
Yeah, so there was a good chunk of time where everybody else who just finished 2.5 on time, it was the worst. It's just what happened? What happened? I want to know what happened.
The time between 2.5 and the expansion release.
I don't even remember, but it was at least 3 months.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
So, at least.
Okay. Because honestly, when I think of expansion releases, I think of Warcraft, where it's it's only been 19 months.
I think Heavensward dropped on the June 23rd, 2015.
Yeah, I remember I bought the expansion a month after it came out, and I didn't even get to it, and I stopped playing. And this is the first time I've gotten back into it because I'm super into Final Fantasy XIV right now.
Yeah. Oh Lord, patch 2.5 dropped January 19th, so it was almost 6 months dealing with the finale and then getting to play the expansion.
I mean, was it a finale? I don't know if there's ever a finale in this game because nothing ever goes right.
Well, true, but that was definitely a finale style of storytelling.
Right. You know what I found very strange was at the end of the main story quest of 2.0. There's credits. At the end of 2.5, there's credits. I'm going to assume there's credits at the end of Heavensward, but it seems so weird to have 2.5 credits, even though...
The reason the 2.5 credits exist is because, the team is growing and changing constantly, so since 2.0 it changed a little bit. They had to recredit everything. But it was the end of a new era. It's a whole different arc, and that story ended on 2.5. So they gave credits for it. 2.0 was its own deal. They gave credits for it. They haven't done credits for Heavensward yet.
Oh, they haven't?
I don't think so. So they might have. I don't remember, but I don't think they have. So where they're at in the story, and I'm going to do this spoiler-free for you, where they're at with the story right now in Heavensward is that they just ended an arc called the Dragonsong War, but they're not done with Heavensward. Right. There's some other stories going on that they're definitely, after the whole thing that happened in the last patch, at the end of it, they're definitely transitioning perfectly into the next thing, which I can say, because unfortunately, what it is in the trailer for Heavensward, so it's not really a spoiler. But we're moving from the Dragonsong War into dealing with the Warriors of Darkness.
So finally get some more work on the... I have no idea how to pronounce it. All of the masked people.
Oh, those Those guy dudes.
Yeah, those dude guys.
Yeah, those dude guys. Those dude guy bros, yeah.
They have a very confusing name. I'm not even going to attempt either, don't worry.
It's like the asshole.
Yeah, that works.
I think I got it right.
That sounds right to me. You know, language just kind of like that.
So, Crabby, where are you in Heavensward?
Now, I haven't had a whole lot of time to play because I'm kind of what's funny is as hardcore as I can get into this game, I always pace myself because
that's good to do.
It's weird because the last time I played any MMO where there wasn't a whole lot of cutscenes or voice acting was probably actually, all right. So whenever I play, it's hard to describe this. I play single-player games, RPGs with stories. I pace myself because I want to soak in the story. I don't do that with MMOs. But when I play Final Fantasy XIV, I do that, and it's weird. And knowing it's an MMO, I kind of pace myself a little more because I know that I'll hit a point where it's like, all right, I gotta wait 3 months for this.
So, and here's the thing about that, too, and this is kind of what I feel about with Final Fantasy XIV. It's not like most MMOs because it has that single-player storyline, like experience and so on and so forth.
Right. I never thought I'd be enthralled in a game with having a cutscene without voice acting. Like, even with cutscenes without voice acting, I'm still like, dude, like it's still interesting to me, which is weird because I love voice acting, and it's weird that I'm into it without it. But right now, let's see, I don't want to spoil anything, but I guess I'll say I just did the trial at the beginning.
The justice system in Ishgard?
Yes. I just did that, and now I'm unlocking the Aether Currents.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm still extremely early, I imagine. But, I'm taking my time doing it, so...
And for people who don't know, Aether Currents are something that they added for flying. And I think that what they did for the flying mounts is a very intelligent way that they did it. Unlike World of Warcraft, because they approached it poorly in the newest expansion pack in whatever it was.
So, I mean, with Warcraft, the first expansion they did flying was Burning Crusade.
Right, no.
I thought that was an excellent... Well, I mean, back then I thought it was an excellent way to do flying because you had to get exalted with the faction. You had to spend a ton of gold to buy the mount and the riding skill. And then as the expansions went on with Warcraft, it was like, oh yeah, once you reach max level, you can just buy it, and then bam, you can fly everywhere. And it's like, okay. I mean... they make you explore the areas. I kind of like...
And not only that, but the way that's laid out, you really need to fly when you're done.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
I don't know why I couldn't remember it, but the name of the current expansion pack is Warlords of Draenor. Yes. And that completely escaped my head. What I was going to say is, unlike what they did with that one, because they got sick of it, especially in Cataclysm, when everybody just flew over everything, because they have flying mounts, why wouldn't they? They just got rid of flying completely.
And the community lost its friggin' mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that they've had forever, and it's just gone. And then their developers were like, well, why did you get rid of our flying? And it was like, because we want you to enjoy our world. And it's like, you're forcing us to do something we don't want at this point. So they later added it. They copied Final Fantasy XIV later on in Warlords of Draenor. They added an achievement where you kind of have to go around all over Draenor and you unlock flying for it.
The sad thing is, I used to play Warcraft hardcore, and even when Warlords of Draenor came out, I played for about 3 months solid, which isn't a lot to say, but when I remember subbing, not recently, but last year when that came out with flying, and I did a little bit of that achievement, and I was like, you know what, I'm just too lazy, I don't even care, and I didn't even bother, I just stopped playing again.
Right, and that's what I mean, though, is like, with Final Fantasy XIV, it's a much better way it's done, because all the Aether Currents are generally in the path of your main scenario quest. So it's in the path of the story. You get to explore the land, and, you experience the world, and then later on you can just fly through it once you're done with the story, which is a great way to do it, especially since later on that means when you come there with a gathering class or something, you could just fly from node to node instead of trying to walk and survive and so on and so forth.
I mean, it's not very often I play any game where I actually have to go outside of the game. Like, for example, I might play a game and I might be like, all right, I'm playing Witcher 3. I got to write down these alchemy ingredients on literally a literal piece of paper to remember what I'm going to buy. Well, with the Aether Currents, I just unlocked that today. What I actually started doing was I downloaded all the maps that people made with the little flags where the Aether Currents are on. Excuse me. And when I get an Aether Current, I'll exit out on the map with paint and I'll just save
that's
it.
cool.
Well, I mean, I play every day. I have been, but I haven't been able to sit down and commit like 5 hours at a time. At least not yet. I just so I remember what I did.
I am in a scavenger hunt.
Where is the compass?
It's in your key items.
Yeah, the key items.
Where-
You can drop it onto your taskbar.
I thought it was an ability, and I'm looking under the abilities, and I'm looking in the regular inventory. I'm like, this must be just some. It must be. They must be saying it's a compass, but it's not really a compass. Like I didn't know where it was.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I took a bit of a break between starting Heavensward and where I am now, and completely forgot that I had been given a compass, and completely forgot what the for. And so I'm just running around like, what is this thing? I'm gonna touch it.
Yeah.
And had to actually ask Brodin, it's like, what am I actually doing with? Oh, for flying. Well, now I'm. I do laid out the only frustrating since they're not marked on your HUD map, and it's just kind of like they're kind of that way-ish. You can definitely be running around an area where it's like it says it's a yalm to the north. Now it says a yalm to the west. Where is this stupid thing? I'm right on top of it, and it's above me somewhere because the way the landscape is laid out.
Yeah, there's one Aether Current. Like in one of the first zones. I can't remember the name of it. Maybe something Coerthus. I think I forget where. It,
Cloud Top. I want to.
No, it's Northern Coerthus. It's Falconhead.
Western Highlands.
Yeah, whatever. It's Falconhead.
No, it's Western. Yeah, she's right. But there's one Aether Current where it's outside of the base, to the left a little bit, and I cannot find it. I'm gonna have to look up a video because I cannot find anywhere. Or maybe find the compass because I couldn't find where it was.
It might help.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing is like that they're usually in like they're on top of things. They're usually in places where you could conceivably think of like it being windy or there being like a dust devil or something.
Now that's how it actually like you won't find one like underground. Like that's how it actually is. They're always above ground and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, and they're always either up high or they're like tucked away somewhere.
Okay.
And it's a really clever design thing once I noticed it because it really does read as like where wind would get caught up, where an Aether Current kind of catch and swirl for a little bit. And so it's like, I don't know if it was intentional, and I don't really care at this. It's a neat design choice.
Yeah. I think it's definitely a great way to introduce flying to the game.
Yeah.
And just for the sake of mentioning it on there, Zealots, I didn't even start that achievement. Like, they added it, and I was like, yeah, I don't care. And they quickly moved on. So... but yeah, so I feel they did flying a lot better in this game than they do in a lot of ones. And it's good too because like one of my favorite areas in the game is the Sea of Clouds. And
I'm really enjoying Runner, except for the fact that I wasted about an hour trying to figure out part of it before realizing it was story locked.
Without spoiling anything, is the Sea of Clouds the zone with those bird idiots that look like morons when they stand still?
Yeah.
Where they just they move one hand up at a time, and they do it back and forth. I kept laughing whenever I saw it.
Brodin loves their dance.
Yeah, you can unlock their dance.
Stupid look. Oh my god.
Yeah, yes, you get to unlock that dance. And
what are they called? The Vanu Vanu?
Vanu Vanu.
Yeah.
Oh god, those guys are so good.
They're like the owl of muscle.
You get their dance. If you do their Beastman tribe quest and get max reputation, you get to do it.
Oh good, I'm so excited.
Oh, you should be, because it looks hilarious when a Lalafell does it.
Right. Right.
No, like quite legit. Lalafell's arms are roughly the same length as their torso. Looks fantastic.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying you've got long monkey arms for such a short dude.
Well, so do you.
Your face has long arms.
Whatever.
Hello, Kukajoo.
Hey!
A wild person.
I didn't even know it was Friday.
Oh, good. You're great. You're a great podcast host. Good job. Great.
I mean,
we only scream
to her credit,
literally
she didn't,
everywhere.
Didn't sit around screwing with the settings.
Well,
you know, she doesn't have to because we already did. Hi, Kukajoo.
Hi, Kuku.
Hi.
Come to the estate hall and sit with us.
Estate hall. Oh.
Yeah, you know, for anybody watching the live stream, I don't understand how you're getting the video that you're getting because you're getting different angles of
/ idling camera.
What does
just
that
like,
do?
So in your chat, just like you would for an emote or something, just type it in and it.
Oh, that is
like,
awesome!
There's even a setting in the menu where you can make it to anytime you go away. So if you go AFK and your status hits away, it automatically starts the idling camera. So it's basically a screensaver.
That is awesome.
I just wish that there was a way that you could change what it's looking at to focus on certain things, because every now and again you just get a wall.
You can pause it or non-pause it.
I know, but like when it's going, you get a wall or a chair.
Well, it was funny because at one point I saw an angle of Lituna, and I was like, "That's I already got that." Then I saw an angle of me. I was like, "How the hell is this happening?" I didn't understand it.
Yeah, it's really
cool. That's actually really awesome. This game has so many weird features that are super cool that I didn't think a game would have. It's really bizarre.
Like, I mean, it's such a little thing, but I'm so pleased about the fact that, like, they have built it in to sit differently.
You can?
Yeah, / change pose.
/ change pose. Mm-hmm. So you can move from, like, between 3 different seats, and they're gender and racial locked.
There's different ways to sit, there's different ways to stand, and if you do / change pose while you have your weapon out, you go into a different fighting pose.
And, like, our favorite one that I really show anymore is Brodin changed dragon people, is the male Makote. They will, like, do the Batman squat.
Yeah, their sit is a Batman squat.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So when I was in Makote, before they added the Aura, I used to find, like, high pillars in Mordana and just do / sit there as Batman and go AFK.
So it's really neat. Like, it definitely had so much more.
Which was ironic
that
because
reminds
it was
me
before Dark Knight existed, so I did it as a warrior. But hey, you know,
yeah,
you do
that
what
reminds
you
me
can.
of a guy named the Dark Knight. He was or no, I think a guy's name was Batman or something along those lines, and he was playing a Dark Knight.
Nice.
You know, there's a Twitter account. If anyone's played Overwatch, all right, there's a Twitter account that has nothing but the character Reaper, has nothing but Reaper names. And it is the funniest Twitter account ever because it's like a super emo character. And it's like, you know, like XX emo killer XX, and it's like, oh man,
it's just like the super,
it's
like
super
14-year-old edge lord.
The edgiest.
It's wicked awesome. I love it.
Oh, it's sick. I've really been in the fandom has sprung up around Reaper because he is just the edgiest. He takes himself so seriously, and it's so serious in the game. And then you think about it from an outside perspective, absurd and ridiculous.
I think one of the best moments, and I know we're kind of off topic, and we're going to go back to topic after this, but one of my best moments was there was a YouTuber who was playing it, and he was Reaper, and he just called his super the die instead of Death Blossom. I just found that entertaining. But we're going to move back, and just in case you haven't noticed, Kukajoo, I left news alone. I'm going to let you just continue to do that. We're good at it.
Right.
I mean, I threw one thing in there. I don't know how important it is or not. It's up to you.
I'm trying to find where my bookmark
Come in.
is.
Anyway, we're going to keep moving because we're not quite to the news anyway. So yeah, I know Lituna just had her experience with Ravana.
Yeah.
What is Ravana?
Ravana is the primal that is original to this game. Is the only. I just saw Kukajoo run by and I'm like, there she is again.
I have no idea where you are.
Downstairs. No, it's just like on the idling camera where it was. I just saw you run back and forth. I was like, all right.
Super quick question before we talk about Ravana. Do they actually still do you have to do this primal to keep continuing with the main story?
No, and we'll touch on that, but they changed that in the latest patches for the better. So Ravana, there's a few primals in Heavensward coming up that you do have to do. There's like 2 for the main scenario. They're fun fights, they're pretty easy. One is Ravana. Ravana is an original primal, so he's actually a summon that completely made for Final Fantasy XIV. He doesn't exist anywhere else. A lot of people have taken kin to him, calling him Odin's bastard child, but I actually really like him, and he has some of the best music that I've heard in a long time, too.
Like on the level of Titan or Gorilla?
Oh, it's way better than theirs.
Way better. I personally say not quite to Shiva.
Shiva's just K-pop.
I don't remember Shiva's music. I have to do that one again.
It's K-pop.
I like Shiva's theme.
It's good, but it's K-pop. I'm not saying it's bad.
It reminds me kind of there's this anime called Gatchaman that likes to use the kind of style of music they used for Shiva's theme. So it reminds me of Gatchaman.
Yeah.
You said anime and I fell asleep. Sorry.
Anyway, so she got to experience Ravana while being super laggy, which was kind of entertaining.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
But Ravana is a fun fight. He's a quad-wielding insect man.
Ah, just like
the
Odin.
design is super.
Well, people are saying he's his bastard child just because of, like, appearance-wise.
Right.
But Ravana's really cool, actually. Like, he actually talks to you and so on and so forth in the story. It's just a fun little interaction. Ravana's actually a really cool addition to the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I actually really like a lot of the teams don't have a whole lot of as weird as that sounds. They are very bigger monster. But Ravana actually had a bit of that really entertaining.
So after 3.0, and this is what I was going to cover for you there, Crabby. After 3.0, they changed it to where the Warring Triad, which is the current Primal storyline, is its separate deal. So you don't have to do a main scenario for it, but it's still there. You go and do it
even
if you
in
want.
the old content, too?
No, in the old content, it's absolutely... They can't go back and really change that easily, so that is what it is.
That's kind of a shame. I kind of liked having the main story not gated, but it's like you have to do this.
There's still different
going.
trials and dungeons and stuff, and then there's, like I said, working up to the end of 3.0, there is 2 primal fights that you have to do as well. So there's still like trials and dungeons. It hasn't changed much. It's just after that, they made it its own side story, while the main scenario in the new patches still have dungeons and trials. Just the Primal, the Warring Triad, is separate. And Agilus is trying to troll us, and he is a terrible human being.
I don't like. I mean, the one thing I love in the game is how, like, for example, you'll do a Hildebrand quest line. It's like, oh, you gotta go fight this guy now and do a trial, a primal or whatever. And it's like, I love how they integrate the 8-man group content in the storylines.
Yeah,
and that's something I really hope that doesn't go away.
It does not, and that's what I was saying.
Because I love that.
Like, occasionally it's really entertaining when it's like, you and only save the world as 3 other randoms.
Actually, 14 does a really good job.
They do, and that's why when
of
it occasionally
that, because
comes up,
what they do, whenever you notice like an 8-man group is about to come up, they mentioned you and your friends or another group of adventurers.
Yeah,
they call out the fact that it's not just you.
They do a good job. This game and Rift and Final Fantasy XIV are two examples of MMOs that actually it makes it feel like it's more than, even though the main story is just you're the hero, they actually do a good job making it seem like it's more than just you. Like in Rift, they would refer to the main characters, like the players, as the Ascended, but it was plural, you know? So I mean, I kind of like how they throw that in there.
I think they just do a really good job in 14 because you're still in the story of your own character. You're still just the only warrior of light, but they call out other people have the power of the Echo. It's not just you. They call out the fact there's other adventurers, but they still do a good job of like making you the hero while calling out that you're not doing it alone.
You are the extra special protagonist character story.
And you have the Echo, and you have the Echo, and
everybody gets an Echo.
I just feel like they do it in a very good... it's one of those things. It's a story for an MMO. You have to approach it in a very good way. They even call out the fact in one of the 2.x patch quests that your character doesn't talk to the NPCs.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, there was one of the ones that was Thancred back in like 2-point-something. And he was just like, oh man, and we just got to work together again. Now you're going to have to go away. You're not just going to respond to me with one of those stoic head nods, are you? And then your character just nods. He's like, I should have expected as much.
Honestly, stuff like that my character in the webcomic is such a moron, is because that's really how it translates sometimes. The face build my character has. It's like, you're super important, just gapes.
I just made my Lalafell like super all the time. It's pretty much a super happy emo hairdo with earrings.
My guy just looks pissed all the time, but I mean, you know.
Kukajoo's grilling me behind me right now. It's kind of weird.
Staring daggers into your back.
What is this asshole doing in the middle of this table?
Just sit in a chair like a normal person.
All of the Aura are typically angry people, so.
You know what's funny is when I was playing this game last year, I had always played a Lalafell character in this. last year I bought one of those. No, you know what? I think I got a free potion, a free race potion from Heavensward. Man, I got one for free somehow, and I race changed to Aura.
Yeah, you get it for buying
Alright.
Heavensward.
Yeah.
They give you a free Fantasia since they
I
added a
race
new
changed
race.
to an Aura dude, and I actually went really short, and I made him just how I liked him. And I logged into the game, and as soon as I started running, I went, "Oh, this." I didn't like anything about it. So literally, like an hour and a half later, I spent $20.
That
I think
was
it's $20.
your experience with Aura was my experience when I race changed to Lalafell.
Really? Because the movement I wasn't feeling it, and I race changed back like literally 2 hours later. I couldn't deal
Your
with it.
experience with the Aura is how I felt about Tars, and 11, and thus still feel about Lalafells.
All right, I played a Taru Berserker, a Marauder in 11. Okay, it was pretty awful. Okay, it was really. It was
Yeah,
actually
race
terrible.
really mattered in 11, so it's
It
like,
did.
I'm a Lalafell warrior. Okay, you don't have HP, but I'm a
No.
tank. No, you don't have HP.
I had a two-handed axe. He swung it real funnily. That's right, new word.
Anyway,
And it's one of those things, like, you don't realize when you're playing that often, but you get so movement and the sound and the silhouette of your character that
Oh, no,
to
you
change
really
it, everything
do.
just looks so wrong.
Like even
it took me like 3 character changes to finally just be done changing
Yeah, you
characters.
toggled back and forth in all
Yeah,
wrong.
One day I changed races, I think, about 3 or 4 times in the same day.
It's one of those things. It's like, this doesn't feel right. Why does this not feel right? And eventually, it's just like, no, I do in fact like Aura more. Like I like that they're
like I love them. I think they're totally awesome. But at the same time, when
you,
I
ha-
put
you
on
have to be a Lalafell.
when I put on that Black Mage level 50 armor, which I'm going to glamour to literally every piece of gear I get at 60, I didn't like the way it looked on Aura, which sucks because I think they're such a badass race.
They do look
But
a little
I think it
silly
looks
in
amazing
robes,
on
in my
Lalafell,
opinion.
though. The big hat, you know.
That's how I am with the Dark Knight armor. I glamour
wear the same.
everything into the Chaos set, so I know how you feel.
I'm still not going to draw it.
I already said you would.
No, I won't. It'd be terrible. I can't.
And to be fair, Ark, when I did play ESO, I was a Nord.
What's funny is, way back in Warcraft, I had played an undead character for literally 10 years, and I switched to Goblin, I think, and I was like, oh man, like that was insane. Literally, because you're so used to the height of the character, the way their legs move on the terrain, like everything about it. And after 10 years changing was that was a waste of money. Like that was pointless.
All right, well, let's move on. Did anybody have any fun moments that they had in the game that they want to share? Any funny things happen to them?
Oh,
It's pretty funny that after 2 years, they still haven't found a good way to stop guild spammers.
Every
I-
MMO
my-
can't do that.
My ignore list is once again almost full.
Yeah, I stopped adding them to ignore even. I just, like,
Yeah,
get a tell.
yeah,
like,
I
all right,
It drives
that's
me
what that
crazy
is.
because
I used to like be anal about blocking every single one, but now I'm just like dead to them.
Oh, there's
See, I
another
mean-
good way to get rid of them all, Crabby,
That's
that I didn't
turned
tell
on
you
tells.
before.
what?
If you're in a wait or busy status, you don't get tells.
Yeah, but what if somebody wants to talk to me?
Nobody uses
That's
tells
what-
because it's only
that's
guild
what makes me
spammers.
so angry is that I hear the noise and I go, "Oh, somebody likes me," and it's you could buy Gil for $10. I'm like,
You
No
think
one will
would
send
be
you a
dead to
tell
that
to
by
talk
now.
to you. Everyone will say either in say or
But-
link shell or free company to talk to you.
I've whispered people and told them their armor looks cool, and they say thank you.
That's like the extent of it, though. Like, nobody uses tell anymore because it's just a kill spammer game.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I turned it off in, like, all but one of my chat tabs so that because the only people I've ever encountered that I would actually stay hearing from is admin. And so
Right.
if I know to expect to hear from admin and tab over, otherwise just one tab that has tell turned on, this is off.
I
That's
have
not a bad idea,
I have an
actually.
extra chat log as well that I have labeled just free company. It has all the social things, no battle log in it, and no tell. So
It's not a terrible idea.
I just
Yeah.
keep everything in the same chat channel, except like link shells, which have their own.
Yeah, I've got 4 tabs. I've got general, battle, event, and chat. And general has everything except tell. Battle has all flavor turned off. It's just events. Event has like battle status stuff turned on, so all the green and yellow text. And then chat is only for social stuff. It doesn't have any of the battle stuff turned on. And then just depending on what I'm up to, I can tab through. And battle also has party stuff turned the party without people who are like every company's conversation. move instructions out of line of sight. That's what works for me.
I mean, what works for you works for you. Everybody has their own thing. So there was a hot fix not that long ago as well. I'm sure you guys saw the long maintenance. I know Crabby did because he always complains, but he always complains when there's a patch and then has an existential crisis in the morning that the game is getting canceled.
Look at this, all right? First of all, I didn't complain. I didn't complain about it being down. I just said how long is it? I didn't know. I'm not into the maintenance schedule for Final Fantasy. And my morning crises usually go away after a couple hours. Okay?
It's just so many mornings where like, oh my god, are they canceling this game? It's like,
pretty much every morning I wake up, the world is ending until I relax. I'm so emotional in the morning, I don't understand why.
So many times on Discord that I wake up to you just like, hey, are they ending 14? And it's like, no. It's like, but they just said they're not doing production anymore. It's like, that's an 11 thread.
I'm just so emotional. I'm so sensitive in the morning. All right?
But yeah, so they
like
did it.
Subscriber.
Not 10 million. There was like 5 million was the last number I saw, but I don't know what we're at now because that was a long time ago.
Subscribers or accounts?
Subscribers.
That's crazy.
So like active.
Yeah.
That's
insane. Give it fair number, just like I would with WoW. Whenever WoW shed their active accounts, that
7
includes...
million were Asian accounts that were like free to
Well,
play.
first off, WoW is down to 5 million, if not lower now.
That was the last time we heard, and then they were like, we're not going to give our sub numbers anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, gee, I wonder fucking why. Like, why? I mean...
You don't want to show us that your game is slowly collapsing on itself like a flan in a cupboard?
I mean, it'll bump back up when the expansion comes out, but they probably won't share that because it might not be as dramatic. So
what it is, though, what were you talking about? I just lost my train of thought.
You were talking about... I forgot as well.
Yeah! Patch notes, that's what it was. There was a bunch of... it was a hot fix. There was a bunch of issues going on from the last patch that it was, so there's not a whole lot of reason to really go into detail there. There wasn't a whole lot of anything that was important. It's just a lot of behind-the-scenes bug fixing and so on. So, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. That's it for patch notes.
Well, I mean, I read them and I was like, I haven't played enough to understand what they even mean, so I just didn't...
Well, yeah, and like I said, it was mainly just a bunch of hot fixes and stuff, so...
Right.
We're gonna go ahead and move on to our next section, which I'm going to be doing. Basically, it's the Final Fantasy XIV Easter eggs. So Final Fantasy XIV is what Final Fantasy XI should have done. There's just Easter eggs littered everywhere in this game as callbacks to the original Final Fantasy. And since we're starting it as a new series and we're going to be moving forward with it, like I said, we're going to start with the easier stuff and then we'll get into the more obscure stuff. So I'm going to start with probably one of the most large and blatant Easter eggs in the game. The Golden Saucer.
Half of the game is Easter.
Yeah, but that's what it should have been.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, when I first came back to the game whenever I came back last year, somebody was like, the Golden Saucer's in the game, and I was like, what? And I'm so surprised there's actually stuff to do there.
There's a ton
I thought
of
it would
stuff
just be like a showpiece.
There's a ton of stuff to do there. Kate Sith isn't in the Golden Saucer, but Kate Sith does show up in the story later. I'm not going to say how or when, but she does. I'm replying to a chat. So, anyway, Golden Saucer is just a giant Easter egg, but it's very well done. Like, there's even another Easter egg in the Gold Saucer. The Gold Saucer, obviously, is a callback to Final Fantasy VII. It has the same music as the Final Fantasy VII Golden Saucer.
God, when I heard that, I was like, this is so familiar, holy crap.
It has the same, like, arcade games as the basketball and a whole bunch of other stuff. They haven't added a submarine or snowboarding yet, but we'll see. They've
if they added
they've actually talked about adding snowboarding.
I would lose my mind if they added snowboarding.
Would be interesting. I wonder how they would do that, if they would kind of hash it out the same way as Chocobo Racing, or...
The way this game works, I don't understand how it would work, but holy crap, that would be so awesome.
And then they added the Chocobo Racing, where you breed and raise your own Chocobo and race it.
I don't understand that.
When that came out, I was, like, into it, and then, like, I played it for 24 hours straight, no sleep, and then I never touched it again.
Burned yourself out.
I got my Chocobo up to rank 40-something, I bred a new Chocobo, and then I never touched it again.
So... The other Easter egg that's in there is the Triple Triad, which is the card game from Final Fantasy VIII.
That game infuriates me.
You're one of the few, most people love it.
No, I love it, but it makes me so mad because I suck at it.
Okay. So they added that, and it is literally just triple triad from Final Fantasy VIII. It's not like the whole Final Fantasy VIII to Final Fantasy IX where they mucked with the card game and everybody hated it. It is just triple triad with like bosses and monsters from 14 as a card game. And then there's more Easter eggs in the card game, like you could get a Cloud Strife card, you could get the Onion Knight card, so on and so forth, which are the like big ultra rare cards, which are the heroes of old Final Fantasies as well. So it's another well done way to do it, I feel, when it comes to Easter eggs like that, especially for the triple triad. It's a ton of fun. Like, it really is. Like, you can play against people. So if you're at the Free Company House or anything like that, you can challenge other Free Company people to a card match. You guys just sit there and, play the game. Play triple triad.
Nobody wants to play triple triad with me.
I spaced out. You can play against other players?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, cool. I thought it was just an NPC only thing. That's
you can
pretty cool.
Play against other people, and you still get the Golden Saucer points. Even if you guys don't place a bet, you still get the Golden Saucer reward and points. And so it's a good way to kind of mix them. It's not a whole lot, but you can place a higher bet if somebody has a ton of the Gold Saucer points and trying to give it to someone else and purposely lose.
Right.
Yeah, they do have a limit on how many times you can win before they drastically lower the rewards, though. Yeah,
but you still get it for not placing a bet, so it's a fun way to just play between each other and you still get something out of it. And I'm going to address this real fast in the chat. The reason we don't have live cams anymore is because there was connectivity issues for some of our people, and if people get disconnected, all of the cameras get screwed up. So I've kind of decided to just nix it. It looked sloppy.
It looked so good every time we did it, though.
I mean, if people want
to... The only other thing the idle on the game, have somebody stand in as the camera and look at everybody.
I'm not going to lie, I kind of love how it looks on the stream right now.
I was going to say, it's more professional looking. If someone does get disconnected, it doesn't change anything. We just move forward. And this is a podcast. The video isn't the focus.
Right. And I mean, it shouldn't be, because sometimes, the idle camera just goes right through a wall and just looks at it for 5 seconds and then it looks at a ceiling. So, I mean,
now it's looking at us.
Is it? I'm not there yet.
Yeah. Oh, wait, that's our chance. Everybody wave.
It's too late.
No, it's gone. Anyway. So yeah, the Golden Saucer was a very well done Easter egg, I feel, and there's a ton of stuff to do there. You got Chocobo Racing. They even are still adding things. Not too long ago, they added the Lords of Vermilion, which is an RTS game, a real-time strategy game with the little minions that you can collect in the game. So you can just have them just duke it out with people. I don't think there's a way to just play your friends in that.
I think you can if you're in the Golden Saucer and each of you stand on opposite ends of the same team.
Oh, okay. I haven't really tried that, but I believe it.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
I know there was for the Verminion tournaments a problem with people abusing that, just playing their friends and letting them win to climb up the rankings.
Okay. I mean, they can't really get rid of that too. People want to play against their friends, So yeah, Lords of Vermilion. It's a pretty interesting game. Like I said, it's an RTS that you can duke out your little minions, which is even better when you have the little minions of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. It's like Thancreen, go beat up Minfilia.
Wait, can you get Tataru as a minion?
I don't think she is one yet.
Oh man.
Why? Because she got you made you collect clams?
She winked at me after a quest. All right. That started our relationship.
How does Crabolina feel about that?
She doesn't have to know. My retainer is named Crabolina, and she's always sad whenever I leave. Because I'm a lonely person.
I mean, there's a wind-up Nanamo if you stand in.
Well, maybe.
Well, this got kind of weird. Anyway.
That was something in the chat last night. Am I the only person who did not weird sexual fantasy retainers?
I didn't. I made legit people.
I made my retainer a Femora, kind of based around how I would look if I was the Femora, or if my character was a Femora. She's I find the Femora retainers really funny because there's a certain personality that when you send them out on a venture, they'll be like, all right, I'll go and steal some shit or something, or be right back.
Yeah, my retainer Crabby, and when I say goodbye, she's like, "I'm gonna miss you," and I'm like, "I'll miss you too," and then I leave and run away.
Oh, man. Both of mine
Ridiculous.
are snarky little brats. I'm just
So-
like, yeah, okay, whatever.
One of my retainers was my alt from Excalibur. I just made her on there. I was like, yeah, there, whatever, and then I moved on. And then another one was just basically another alt that I had a long time ago. I was like, there, alright, moving on. I just made them my alts, and I was like, cool, we're done. They are both female, but I maybe that's a whole gender thing. I don't know, because who knows? Lituna made 2 Lalafels.
The best part is that they have a backstory now, and I love it.
See, Lituna is actually more sadistic than we thought. She has 2 Lalafels because she's into slave labor, and she's bigger than them, so she can tell them what to do.
That's not at all.
That explains everything.
When I made my first trainer, I didn't know, give them clothes and things to send them out on.
So they were naked the entire time, too.
But, no, it was because they're the only ones that did heck in, weird little sailor maid form. And now they're...
Now she makes them dress like maids.
No, I do not have that.
No,
one of them is a minor and one of
okay, we don't need to know what you do with minors, but I mean...
excuse me, guys, I'm gonna be AFK a second.
Don't come in here and hit me. I'm gonna lock the door. No. Alright.
I like how audible that was.
She slapped me on the arm. Anyway. Your picture keeps getting... Okay.
It's okay, Brodin.
What the hell is going on in the freaking... Anyway.
When she said minor, my mind went to the same place.
I just got slapped, the crap out of. And then there's just pictures of Crabby being spammed. And now I think you're deleting the pictures? I don't know what's going on.
It's not me.
Anyway. So yeah, the Golden Saucer. Ton of Easter eggs, ton of fun. Same music. Actually brought in via a story that is pretty good because it uses existing characters and something that would make sense. So it's a whole lot of fun all around. Yeah, no, I got my crap slapped out of Elded. Anyway.
Let that be a...
Alright, so we got some news I want to cover real fast. Number one that I don't see on here. I know you put it in earlier and then deleted it, and I don't know why. There's
Wait.
That's from last week.
I know I deleted a lot of old news.
I know, but the tank armor contest.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that.
You, typed it in and then it got deleted.
Oh, yeah. I was figured, because there's still a lot of time, I'd remind people when it was closer to the deadline, but since we're talking about it anyways.
Okay, I was just I don't know if Crabby deleted or what happened, so go ahead. News with Kukajoo.
Alright, so I guess since we were just talking about it, I'll just like to remind everyone, if you would like to participate in the Design a Tank Armor Glamour contest, to get on that. You still have about a week, 2 weeks. The deadline is July 2nd. I've been procrastinating. I've got lots of things for lots of people I need to do. But I do have my idea for my armor done, so I know what kind of direction I want to take, so I just have to start rough drafting it.
Now, what happens if you win?
Then I might cry.
No, I mean, what action?
No, okay.
This isn't all about you, alright?
They implement your armor design into the game.
Okay.
Oh, so hairstyle kind of
They implement your armor design into the game with armor that's already in the game?
They implement... What? They
Didn't you
implement
say
your design. They implement the armor you have drawn that people have voted to be the best.
You have to... I thought you said you have to glamour it on yourself.
Oh, no,
show
no.
it.
No, you draw it.
That's really bizarre.
No, you draw it. You draw your original design.
Okay.
You send it to them. They select a few finalists, and then they post those on the forums, and then the community votes on which ones they like best.
Oh. I can draw some pretty mean stick figures, so I should get on that.
So yeah, if you do want to enter that, get in there.
She don't want to even draw my armor, right now she'll draw some other armor.
No, I'm kind of frustrated because I entered the hairstyle contest, and the male hairstyle that I drew was a pompadour, and it didn't win. And now they're including pompadours, and I'm just a little bit salty about that.
Wait, is that pompadour? Is that the Grease Lightning?
Yeah, it's a hairstyle now. You could go upstairs, or I guess I can always add that. You could go to the hairstylist and get a pompadour right now.
Yeah, hold on.
I think
still have the original sketch of my design.
Something to keep in mind, though, is that when you do enter these contests, Final Fantasy does claim the right to keep your designs, and if they choose, implement them at a later date with no credit to the original creator.
Yeah, and that's fair and fine. I'm just
You can also. It's safe to say they didn't take your pompadour and put it in the game. It's just
No,
a
they
pompadour.
Speaking of hairstyles, am I absolutely insane, or did I do a quest in Limsa Lominsa where they added Lightning's hairstyle?
No, they did a
That
long
was
time
for-
ago. It was the Final
Oh.
Fantasy XIII event.
Because I saw that and I was like, that hairstyle looks so familiar. And then I was like, oh, that's Lightning's hairstyle.
They also added snows where you get the bandana and stuff. I used to have that all the time as a Makote. And
Yeah, you can buy those in the cash shop now because they're
Also-
not doing the event anymore.
It's not even that. A lot of people complained because they weren't in the
Mhm.
cap shop for a long time, and people were like, "We want that stuff," and people are like,
You said I
just
could
screw
change
yourself."
my hairstyle, but I'm not seeing anywhere upstairs.
You have to go to the Adventurers Guild because I don't have the bell here, but I can always add the bell later.
Sure.
Whatever.
Come back downstairs.
I made you walk 3 feet. Oh my god.
Okay.
Get your Lalafell fat off of you.
I mean, to be fair, he's a Lalafell. That's like 30. Did you change your?
No, I'm wearing my level 51 hat. All right.
You guys good?
Until the stream finds its way back over.
He has
there,
the Jester
he's
hat
just-
on. It's a level 51 hat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway.
All right, yeah. So E3 Final Fantasy revealed a VR
Oh.
experience for 15.
Oh my god! Please tell me you aren't excited or want to try this. Because watching the video of that looked.
I mean,
like
I see
one
it and like the reviews. I know like there's a lot of people that's really disappointed.
It looked
You just,
like one of the worst VR things I've ever seen.
people who have played the demo that is out currently say it's really boring. It doesn't really take advantage of what VR can do. You just shoot at a monster for a couple of minutes and teleport to preset destinations until it dies.
So I super dislike VR, and I just don't like VR really. I don't know. I think it'll take away from traditional gaming development. That's why I don't like VR. But not even if I liked VR, I would have watched that demo and said, "Holy crap, that looks terrible." And I've been listening to E3 feedback and stuff all week, and the couple times this was mentioned, it was actually super funny because if you complete the demo for Final Fantasy XV, the shooting thing, you get the option to go on a car ride with that mechanic chick. And she just like sits there and shoves her boobs in your face, and
Well,
and there's like a line of people.
You gotta get that fan service in.
Oh yeah, but there's like
It's
a line
Japan after all.
now. There's a line of people that are trying to try this demo, and everyone is watching you do this. And there are guys that are sitting there, like getting right up in her face, like looking up underneath her chair, and it's like super creepy. It was one of the funniest things I've heard from people who did the car ride with her. I was like, oh, that is so messed up.
It's like they don't realize because they're in the VR, we can still see their movements.
Well, think about it. You're in line to do this, and you're laughing at people doing this, but then you do it.
Oh,
It's like that's the funny thing is like everybody realizes they're doing it, but then they make fun of people. It's like that was the best part of it.
Oh Lord,
it looked terrible. It's like straight up terrible.
Yeah,
Just to answer another question real fast, I'm Aster. Brodin's Aster. Zealots was confused because I was talking to him in there.
Oh.
Like, who the heck is this guy? It's like, I'm right here.
Oh,
yeah, VR, yeah.
So the big thing I want to go on there, though, is like, it's not like the VR of 15 is like the focus. It's kind of just a side thing that they did, so whatever. It's completely optional. Who cares
by all means,
about
they
it?
are not going to shoehorn this into the main gameplay.
No, God, I see. And any game that comes out in VR, I really hope it's a side thing or an alternate mode because I want my regular games.
That's what a lot of people were hoping about when they announced Resident Evil 7, but that's off topic, and let's keep going.
There's a regular mode for that game, but all right, go on.
Good. That's all we need to know.
And finally, I guess, Final Fantasy XIV has changed its publisher to Nexon.
In Korea.
Yeah, I added that, and that was one of my emotional morning freakouts today. I see this on Reddit. Korean FFXIV changes publisher to Nexon, and I immediately went, good God, this game is over. Because every Nexon MMO I've played has been completely, utterly screwed up.
From
what
I'm reading through,
they're not
because
actually
what's up?
publishing at all. It's still going to be Square
so
Enix.
from what I'm reading from one of these comments is, I'll read the comment by Jusahun, who evidently speaks Japanese or Korean to read this, probably Korean. Identity Mobile still runs Final Fantasy XIV Korean. It is not publishing, but channeling. By doing this, people can log into FF14 Korean using their Nexon account without further register. Nexon can't interfere with actual publishing. They're just sharing their members with identity. Which is, so I mean, well, alright, so even if that is the case, the other thing to note is that this is the Korean Nexon, not Nexon America. Nexon America has literally ruined every game it's touched with microtransactions and pay-to-win strategies. Nexon Korea
it's
used
the same
to be
thing.
like... No, they're two different entities. They're two different entities.
The microtransactions are still in Korea, Nexon. It's just...
They are, but they're
that's
not... They're not as terrible as Nexon America's.
Well, that's the staple over there. They don't really do sub-based games or anything like that in Korea. Because everybody's like, it's one of those things. They make games that are designed around the main people who play them, which are like, you'll sit down in a coffee shop, play like maybe an hour, and then you go. Kind of deal.
So, from everything I've read about Nexon Korea is that they do microtransactions and a good amount of them. However, they're not terrible pay-to-win like Nexon America is. Which is good, but it doesn't even matter. Because they're not going to do that. So, it's fine. It's just... That was my little freak-out moment when I saw this news.
There's already a cash shop for 14.
No, there is.
And they did it right. There's nothing in there that affects actual gameplay. It's all aesthetics.
It is. And that was, I mean...
The day they added character boosts to WoW is the day it died.
Alright, so speaking of that, did you see this other little news? I didn't put it on the outline, but did you see this other thing? Yoshi P is talking about possibly adding level boosters to Final Fantasy XIV with 4.0.
It depends on how they do it.
He said he's thinking about doing it, taking feedback from the users. It seems like a lot of people don't want it.
I'd say if they absolutely must add it, then they should, if you purchase one with like no previous play on the game, that you have to go through some boot camp hell. Not like the trainer's hall. It's just like, all right, here kids, go do this, but like actual mechanics training boot camp hell.
Well,
You have to solo Titan Extreme.
Good job of having in-story for things like that, for cutscene travel and things like that. So maybe doing something where it's a quest line that you have to boot camp hell.
No,
well, I mean, also keeping
I
in
think
mind,
you guys are talking like too way early on. They're not going to add it because the players don't want it. And Yoshi P is a very much a publisher, a producer who is like, what do my players want?
Let's say they do add it. Conversation's sake, they add level boost to the game. You still have to do the main story to unlock half the content in the game. You still have to do your class quest to unlock all your abilities. I mean, sure, you're getting boosted to 50 or whatever, but you still have to do a whole lot of stuff to get through it. So
I'd say maybe maximum boost to 30.
I was going to say, it really
be
kind
a
of depends on
terrible
how
idea.
they do it. I think the only real way they could do it that would kind of not burn everybody is if it's XP boosts instead of level boosts. So you
Right.
gain
Yeah.
X more XP during this amount of time.
Yeah, but they already have like a ton of that in the game. Like just from the beginner's hall alone, it gives you this brand new ring, which is a 30% experience boost when level 30 and below.
Yeah. So that kind of stuff is already around, but
Plus,
we'll have to see what they do with it, because really the players of this game don't want it.
Judging from the Reddit post, it seems like more don't want it than people that want it. The scary thing about it is Yoshi P was saying he wants to ask people who play Warcraft what they think of it. And that kind of goes, oh, you're asking people who play different games something, so it's kind of like they're not your audience, so I don't know.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. Like,
Yeah.
I trust them with this game. I don't think they'll do anything that destroys it.
If it was flat out added to the game, I personally wouldn't be terribly upset. It wouldn't be great, but I don't know if I would cry about it.
I wouldn't cry about it, but I wouldn't use it, so it wouldn't matter to me.
Right. That might be it for news.
Yeah, so in that case, let's move into this next part. Where do you guys think... I know I'm going to ask you two, because you have the least amount of knowledge. What do you guys think we're going... Yes, but I'm asking you two.
Who's two?
Lituna and Crabby, who haven't finished the story with the least amount of knowledge.
I can't see you pointing at us.
Okay, but I said with the least amount of knowledge.
Okay. Well, I didn't let you finish, so I had to interrupt you.
Yes, exactly. That's the problem.
Okay.
Where you think they're going to be going moving forward with the story 4.0 or anything like that. I just want to know what your guys', since you're still playing through Heavensward, think is going to be happening with that.
I mean, that's kind of a tough question because I don't even know where the hell the story is going right now.
4.0 is going to be completely different, so we're done with Ishgard, is what 4.0 is going to be.
So from what I know of the story, let's say it's wrapped up. If we're still dealing with the Assholians, I don't know. I mean, from doing the main story in 2.0 and 2.5, you know, Ishgard was still very much, it's part of our nation, it's part of Eorzea, but we're not actually there. So I would have to say maybe a different world. Final Fantasy has never been afraid to go different worlds in the past, you know? Maybe
it's funny that you say that because Yoshi P has stated he wants to take us to the moon at some point.
Right. Well, I mean, in Final Fantasy XIV, I believe you go to the moon. I'm sorry, in Final Fantasy IV, yes. I believe you go to the moon.
Yep.
That would make total sense in a very weird way, but I could see going to a different planet. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
So the big one that a lot of people are favoritor, and this is information given to us throughout 2.x, is that 4.0 is probably going to actually be dealing with Alamigo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense too. What now? They did the whole story about Alamigo, but they got attacked by the Empire.
So Alamigo was a sovereign state. It was a smaller country. Essentially, it's where all of the big humans, as the Highlanders, come from.
Like Robon.
Yes, they're all from Alamiga, and it was just completely and utterly destroyed by the Empire. So it's actually under Empire control right now. So a lot of people say eventually, maybe in 4.0, we don't really know, we're going to go and deal with getting Alamigo back from the Empire.
It would make sense because little Alamigo is kind of a shithole. So, I mean, it would make sense.
It's a refugee camp. And I know you guys haven't gotten there yet, but in the most recent stories or patches, they have shown certain characters, I'm going to do this the most spoiler-free possible, certain characters dealing with events in Little Alamigo without the Warrior of Light. So it's kind of looking like, I'm not sure if it's going to be a future patch that we're going to meet up with them or not, but it's looking like we might be getting ready to go to Alamigo because they have had no contact with the Warrior of Light, but they're in Little Alamigo and they're getting ready for events that are about to unfold. Basically, they're saying, it's kind of subtle, but they're preparing an army in Little Alamigo.
That sounds like it's a good indication of where we might be going.
It may be for 4.0, it might be for 2.4, it might be or 3.4 or 3.5. It kind of depends on where we go.
You think they would add a whole new zone in a point patch?
No, but it might just end up being like a duty-based thing. Now, I'm not saying that's the high possibility. Like I said, Alamigo is probably going to be an expansion.
That would make sense, because didn't we do a Kill a Dragon for Heavensward came out on a bridge or something?
Yeah, the Steps of Faith.
Right. And that was in Ishgard, wasn't it?
Oh, okay, I have to bring this up, and I'm going to, again, do it without spoilers, but they did such a good job, and you'll guys get there eventually, with the end of Heavensward. So, as you stated, it starts at the Steps of Faith where you fight a giant dragon. The dragon song, War, ends on the Steps of Faith fighting a dragon.
Ah, that's cool.
So
Screw those steps.
It's really well done. Like, it is an awesome moment, and is one of my favorite cutscenes in the game right now.
That's awesome. I can't wait to get there.
That's so good. And one of the good things too is, and I told Lituna this, once you get to 60, you gotta do a little bit of farming and stuff, but not a whole lot to get some gear. But after that, it's basically like almost a free ride. The stories aren't too long per patch. The main reason it was so annoying for 2.0 to 3.0 is because there was just so many quests. They kind of reduced that, but kept but added longer cutscenes. So there's as much story and less go there to there kind of quests. So it feels like it goes by faster because it's just like cutscene and then cutscene, story and cutscene. So it's done very well.
That's good.
A little bit more streamlined, as you could say, but
I'm still nervous about when I finally finish all the story. That what am I going to do?
There's a ton of stuff to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get there when I deal with it.
Once you get to 60, we can do, and this is something I plan to do as a free company. And again, our server is Melbaro. If you guys want to come and play with us, the Melbaro server, hit us up. I'm Dark Wolf Odin in there. I'm the free company leader, all that good stuff. We'll get you an invite. Anybody can invite, and everything will be golden.
And remind me in the chat.
Lituna. And Crabby is Crabby. You can search by first names, so. And Kukajoo is Kuka.
Crabby Cakes, and all NPCs.
No, Cakes is your last name.
No, all the NPCs in the game call me Master Cakes, and I kind of love it.
That's what I'm saying. Cakes is your last name.
Yeah.
You can search by just first name, so it's Crabby.
Whenever I read that, I laugh. Master Cakes. I'm like,
the most important of all.
Oh, it's even better if you're like leveled up completely in a grand company, and then the story is involving that grand company, because then they say your rank and last name. So if you were the highest rank and like went to go do something, it'd be Lieutenant Cakes.
That's something else that going back quick about the personality of the story and everything. It's just the fact that they do take into account previous things that you have accomplished in just very subtle ways, like addressing you by a higher rank, things like that. It makes it feel like you're actually having an impact on the world, which is cool.
Yeah, they do it good.
But yeah, let us know and we'll be able to invite you in, get you playing, all that good stuff. But we'll be doing like treasure dungeon and stuff. It level syncs you to item level 180, so you only have to be item level 180, which isn't actually that hard to get to after you hit level 6.
Now, I don't know if this is going to take too long to describe to me, but what the hell is this 50-level dungeon I keep reading about?
Palace of the Dead?
Maybe. It seems like there's 50 levels in this dungeon?
Yeah, it's Palace of the Dead. It's not out yet.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be 3.35.
Sounds ridiculous. Okay.
Yeah, it's just not out yet, so there's not much information to give you.
Okay. Alright, fine then. Whatever.
Treasure dungeons are out.
So
There's 7 floors. They're a lot of fun. You can also make a ton of money from them.
I eagerly await to do that.
Yeah, and that's...
What we do know about the Palace of the Dead is that it'll be either solo or up to 4 people. Independent progression starting system, starting at level 1. Current level and progress autosave on select floors, restart after KO from save points, and normal benefits of eye level negligible the dungeon. Enhance strength via items found in the palace. So I guess your gear won't mean much, and you gotta find performance-enhancing steroids?
Yeah, it's another group event that we can do for the free company, or people
Drugs
can do in
fun.
general. And it'll be a lot of fun, in my opinion, you know? You can have like a Palace of the Dead night or something.
That sounds pretty cool.
But yeah, so it's not out yet, so we'll get the more definitive facts when 3.35 comes out. We don't know when that's going to be. They haven't given us a date. But it's generally like only a month or so after like 3.3. So we'll see. Yeah. Anybody else have anything else they wish to discuss?
I could talk for hours, but I won't subject you guys to that.
I don't know. It's a podcast. That's kind
no.
of the
I don't.
point.
You know what? I'm also very hungry, and I haven't eaten dinner yet. So.
All right. Well,
you asked earlier about anything funny that happened, and that reminded me I wanted to announce. So I am doing the webcomic again now that I've got a little bit of time over the summer, but I am short on very funny jokes. If anybody in the community has something funny that happened in any of the games support, the ESO 14, any of that, and want to send me your joke, there's the distinct possibility that it could be a comic.
Awesome.
All right.
I'm sure if Avi Optimal finds out about that, there's a great story about me dying to a mud crab in Elder Scrolls Online. So, I mean, that should be good.
Yeah, I would love to hear that. There's definitely one that happened to me night before last where I had spent the entire time exploring an area and just had gotten lost in exploring and then died when I jumped off a cliff and a polar bear decided to not like me in that exact moment.
Litna, it would be awesome if you could actually, for your comic, just do a short little bit parodying. I'll post it in the Discord. If you could parody this comic.
With that GIF that you posted with the guy dancing in the bikini?
No, that's not a...
Yeah. Oh, God. So it's just like what it means to be Makote. Oh, Lord. That might have to happen. We'll see. Send that to me in the private chat so I can...
Private chat?
You can send private messages.
On Discord.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I've got.
All right. Well, it sounds like this was a good first episode of the rebrand.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Kukajoo showed up late, so nothing's changed there. I mean,
I don't do it often.
It's good. It's good. I wouldn't worry about it.
It's not often. I just didn't see that it was Friday and I was watching anime.
I've heard that before.
Anyway, next week, moving forward, we'll have more of the everything else fleshed out. I'll have the link for the Discord up on the video. We'll have that in the chat, or not chat, but the description, and everything else will be good to go there. We'll have everything else just more fleshed out in general. But moving forward, this is going to be more of the format that we're going to do. Like I said, it's going to be more for Final Fantasy XIV driven, but we will have news on the other Final Fantasies when there's news. So for now, if you guys like what we do, support us on Patreon. Check out our website at dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. As for the Twitter and everything for this exact podcast, we'll figure out what's going on. For now, just send things to where it's been going at the Chocobo Knights podcast, and everything will be good. But till then, thank you guys for tuning in and supporting what we do.
Bye!
Bye!